Good luck left dollar with I think around 200, and he took your.
Don't patronize me. Don't patronize me. Imperfect.
Okay,
Do not patronize me.
What you have to do is dollar.
See, at times when you give your analysis, grandmasters, when you give your analysis, you should understand that there are a few people in your space that understand economics beyond the figures you throw around. You said, what's his name?
Are the figures wrong? That's the first question. No, answer the question. Are the figures wrong?
What are the parameters that make up that figures?
Answer the first question. Are the figures wrong? Okay.
See, as much as I like you, now this your agidi, calm down.
Answer the question. The figures I
would you let me talk, please?
No, you go. But first of all, answer the question. Are the figures I mentioned wrong? Okay, wait.
I haven't said your figures are wrong.
Thank you. Now you can go ahead.
Okay. But there are parameters that make up that figures. Yeah, you said all your figures were right. Good luck met dollar at 145. He left office at 198 per dollar. But you should understand that between 1999 and to the present day, it was during Good Luck regime that we had the highest oil boom. And where did all those money go? Where did all those money go?
Can I ask a question?
Where did all those
Oh, wahala. Calm down, guys.
Can I ask this question? August meeting. August meeting. I'm not going to go master immediate submission. So right now, and ask you now say, wait till make dollar now so they increase. You don't increase now so they attack Good Luck will leave past like almost 9 years ago. Wait till concern Good Luck now and this comment. Wait, now all you will Good Luck sell some years back and make Tinubu no fit control dollar now or wait. I don't understand.
Imperfect.
One question I want to ask.
Now grandmaster go. Grandmaster go in the name of it.
Grandmaster. How? Jesus Christ, you. Grandmaster, wait first. If you wait, make him finish, please. Hold on. Over to you, I beg. Wait till make.
See, I wouldn't have gone through that lane. Grandmaster went to tell us his history, and I want to report it. Now my reporter, you not even let give it a piece. Grandmaster. Yeah.
I beg. Forget about Grandmaster now and Good Luck and this. Why?
Okay.
Tinubu don't carry dollar from 6 something to 9 something.
Okay. First off, Tinubu did not carry dollar. Okay. The force of demand and supply is what is affecting dollar.
Okay.
And if you are listening to your radio, I'm not sure you listen to Arise News or whatever, you would have understood by next week, the federal government is planning to eject $1 trillion into the economy, which will reduce drastically the demand. And by that, it will have a ripple effect on the value at which dollar will be to naira. Stop coming here and telling us demand affects the economy when you are talking about international. Oh my God.
No, he can also include it in his submission. Let me just ask a question and then you can include it in the submission. Forget to put the talk. Wait, make him finish first. Then ask a question.
Grandmaster, Shebi you are in Nigeria.
Yeah, who dey Nigeria?
I thought you said you did Nigeria. You want book tickets, go Lufthansa the other time. You were saying Lufthansa flight.
Yeah, they listen.
I thought you were.
Go first, one master. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
Yeah.
What I trying to say by next week, dollar will come back to $4 or 200.
I'm not telling you. I won't tell you specifically that dollar is coming to one amount or the other, but it will drastically reduce. That's what I can. That's the assurance. That's my word. That's what I can give you right now. Between now and month ending, dollar is going to reduce. Probably, maybe still around 850, 780 thereabout. Significantly over time. And over time, it will play out. It will reduce by the grace of Almighty God. You people just have to be optimistic. You have to support this government.
1 minute. Thank you so much. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just reply this guy.
Grandmaster, would you hold on, please? Can you please hold on?
1 minute and I'll keep quiet. 1 minute, I'll keep quiet.
Can you talk?
Are you guys scared of my question or what? Can I ask this guy a question?
I didn't interrupt you. If I could have not interrupted you when you were speaking, you should let me.
We're having a discussion. You have made a submission here. I've made my submission.
Ask your question. Okay. Ask your question.
Because, I want, when you came here, he asked questions. What was, you understand, he gave a reason why the dollar increased. And then you spoke about excess, the money we're making from crude. You asked, where is the money? Olutosi, first of all, let me ask you, what was the basket price of crude oil in 2014 before Goodluck Jonathan handed power?
$85 per barrel.
How?
$85 per barrel.
I said in 2014.
Oh, okay. I think it was around 125, 130 per barrel.
Thank you. How much is the basket? How much is the basket price of crude today?
$85 per barrel.
Thank you. What is the difference between the basket price of 2014 and today? What is the difference?
Minus 50.
Yeah. What is the difference?
Minus 50, 55.
It's not minus 50, 55. It was around 120 something when Goodluck handed it over.
Hey, it's 85 now. Do your math now. That's minus 55.
I don't know, man. 120 minus 87 and minus 50.
Okay, minus 45. Minus 45. Minus 45. Okay.
Okay, leave them. Whatever. Now, let's break it down. Can you now compare the increase, the proportional increase?
Let me finish now. What was the production per day? What was the production per day during Goodluck Jonathan?
Let me finish now. No, it's now. I need to hear. What was the production per day? Okay, let me talk about.
You ruined the experience, man.
What was the production per day during Goodluck Jonathan?
Let me say something else, please. Let me say something else. You
want to say something else?
Let me say something else.
Let's change this line.
You are triggered. Chill. Cool down. You are triggered. Let me say something else. I will leave that part alone because that place, you don't even know your maths. So you ask, where is the excess? Where is the money we made from that crude oil? Do you know the concept of excess crude account? Do you know what that means?
Of course.
Okay, what was the amount in excess crude account we had before when Goodluck Jonathan handed over power?
$32 billion.
How much?
$32 billion.
$32 billion.
Yes.
My guy, you're not even current. In fact, let me just end with thank you. Our two economists. So we get people like Una, and our dollars will just increase. Our money just lose value. We have two people like you. This one are superheroes. So also we are suit face down like pastor when you see tight collect. Captain Ebenezer, after you go to Mass, after Mass you go to Big Noel. I know here people for Grandmaster again and Olutosi because not too black because one and Grandmaster, please. Jesus Christ,
Grandmaster, I have followed you. Follow me back. Let's do this thing on our PM. Let's fight this boy on here. Follow me back. We are going to fight this boy on here.
No, I have not made my point. I wanted to land my point. Now, just give me 10 seconds. You said they had a question. You asked your question. No, just 10 seconds. Let me land this point. Let me explain to you. $3.8 billion.
What is the point of all of this?
Wait now. I'm debunking something. Wait, make I debunk something now. Captain, make I debunk something. Just hold on. Give me 10 seconds. Let me debunk something. Give me 10 seconds and let me debunk something.
You're just
wait, now make I debunk something. This Captain. No, why you come debunk when they debunk?
Oh, guy, you're just this is
total noise. Go back and
Wahala.
What do you call it?
Total noise.
This is not a total noise. Please. Forget about it. For you, Captain. Don't give me a second.
No. This is total noise. We did it.
I beg. This is not. This is total noise.
This is total noise. I'm of the university and you people are here.
This pass you, my guy. This kind of discussion is pass.
This one pass noise.
My guy, this one pass you. Just keep your mouth shut.
Noise.
Guys, shut up, make I talk. I beg. No, why I beg? No, why? No, I can go to the
It
FCC.
is my turn
Why
to
would
speak.
I
This is
attack
total
FCC?
noise.
He brought to put that.
I
I'm
think
going to
it's
this guy.
total noise.
Nah, no, I can cook back. Yeah, but as I was saying, there was an excess food.
Oga, it is my turn to speak. This is total noise. You are making.
3.9
You have an
billion,
opportunity to
right?
ask your
That was
question.
what Jonathan left. And that money came from the
You
crude
are
vessel.
here shouting
Today, go and check that excess food account and tell me how much is left in that account. It is only 30 million US dollars. So look at when you come here and say and ask the question, what happened to the money that we are making from that money? Who not actually save that money on the behest and the advice of P2P? He saved that money, and that money was handed over to FCC. And FCC squandered that money, looted that money up to the point that we only have 30 million US dollars left in that account from 3.8 billion to 30 million. So when you come on FCC, come and tell us exactly what. Don't come here and say, price was this, price was that. At the end of the day, you don't even know what you're talking about. My brother only told us that we go
now we see make APC people deal with people are too. You people are emotional. You people are too emotional. That is the problem.
You shut your mouth up. You know, you always like getting your own. This is a discussion bigger than you. You don't know economics. Okay, please. You don't know economics. You only use not.
Okay, shut up. You don't know anything about economics. You're just here making
I beg, don't make noise for you. I beg. Make your space. Don't make me face you. Don't make me face you. Captain, make me face you.
I go trigger you.
Don't make me face you. I go trigger you. I go trigger. I go finish you here, Captain. I go finish you.
Now me, you want to
Grandmaster. Grandmaster, I pity the teacher who will teach your kids because you're picking mistakenly small letter A instead of capital letter. I know say you will sue the person to court. Grandmaster, I beg, calm down, I beg. Captain, I beg, are you they talk now? I beg, 4 minutes, over to you. Thank you.
See, they like the.
Is everything you like?
Yeah, that crash with space with argument.
I they like the way you take they argue your politics. It's understandable with fact and you're clear. Akuwe they here will come argue politics, fact and clear. Grandmaster sometimes he would
Nah, guys, respect yourselves now. Let's move on with this thing. It's not about two of you.
I will teach you about Nigeria.
Captain, if it's like over a minute to argue with your
no, two grown-ups disgracing themselves in public.
Don't mention my name again.
So based on the topic we have here, it's just very, very simple. Is ECOWAS controlled by the West? It's as simple as it is. ECOWAS, African Union, is nothing but a branch of NATO controlling Africa. And it is so unfortunate that we have a whole bunch of people who, when you touch them, they will tell you, I went to 4 walls of the university. I went to the 4 walls of the university. I live in UK. I live in Japan. To me, I am making 40,000 this in a month. I'm making.
Move the mic forward.
For one day, and for one day, you've never ever sat down to think and know the reason why you have been subjected under abject poverty for the rest of your life. Now listen and listen attentively. The reason why the fight that is going on is going on. They said it is because of uranium, right? Now listen. This is the job of uranium, especially
when you use it in a nuclear reactor. It works by using the heat energy released from the splitting atoms of certain elements to generate electricity and also weapons. So the raw materials that is being taken from your Africa is being used to generate electricity. It is also being used to produce weapons. And those weapons, in turn, your country, if you have insurgency, they go sell them to you after taking your raw materials and selling it for $218 and giving you $11 back. And this is what the people of Niger is suffering. But this is the bone of contention. The bone of contention in the whole of this brouhaha is gas. And where is that gas coming from? That gas is going to come from Imo State. Imo State harbors over 200 trillion TCF of gas deposits. Russia is playing a revenge card, and at the same time extending the revenge card to Africa to liberate itself. Russia produces 5% of the world uranium, which is bigger than what is coming from both Namibia and Niger. But if you look at Mali, look at Burkina Faso, and look at Niger, and look at the pipeline map that is going to transport gas all the way from West Africa to the west, from Imo State to the west. The head, the final head is from Niger. And so therefore, they are always going to use I will continue to call them the house Negroes, which are your leaders, to frustrate the lives of those who are waking up to say no to this nonsense. And that is the reason why you have the likes of Nnamdi Kanu in jail, and you have the likes of Asari Dokubo outside. That is the reason why you have the likes of Gaddafi dead. You have the likes of the juntas right now in both Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. They are doing everything to exterminate them, to bring back their normalcy, to continue looting and the nonsense. And who are they going to use? They are going to use those who does their bidding. Take your time and ask yourself, what is really Commonwealth? And what is this aid that is being given to Africa? To explain it in a nutshell, it is the salary paid to those people who are these leaders who they have imposed on you to make sure that your resources is being taken without you saying So when you talk about the nonsense that is going on,
please, a minute more, thank you.
When you talk about the whole of this nonsense that is going on, why are they fighting so hard to invade Niger? Is the big question you should ask yourself. And the answer is because winter is coming and it's going to be cold. Because those who are now gatekeeping their resources are gatekeeping it for the right reason. And I'm so disappointed for people who are shouting, oh, support Ahmed Bola Tinubu, support Ahmed. I mean, what kind of, where una really go una school? They ask every day, where una go this school? This school, every time, I'm a graduate, I'm this PhD holder, I'm this, that. Where una go all of this school? Stop coming to spaces to disgrace yourself. You're under abject poverty, where you cannot afford anything. And every time you're supporting bad leadership, oppression and suppression. Are we okay? I mean, are we feeling okay upstairs? All right.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Captain, for your submission. Make them start. We're there for here. All of you now welcome. Mazi, you have to go next. Captain, that gas pipeline, and he follow for waiting the cause this war. But that will be topic for on that day. Maybe just
that is the reason of contention.
That gas pipeline, they need to negotiate with Nigerians. If not, nothing will happen.
Sorry, imperfect. You see what in Pakistan do?
I beg, make allow them for now. Make we talk within the warriors for here now. Mazi, you should be next after you go to Noel, then come to Ukwali, lady, then go back to Ako. Thank you.
All right, Imperfect, thank you so much for always holding it down for us here, and everybody that is on this space right now. I see you, Big Noel, Biruki, Equity, Captain.
You only have 4 minutes. Use it and talk. And stop all the greeting.
You guys. Henry, I see you down there. My brother, I just emotionally down now. Like this breaking news of invasion, military intervention, as in, is really, I think it's really uncalled for. Like this, I thought they said ECOWAS is for when there is instability, you know. So what kind of instability are we having in Niger? There is no bloodshed, no one is being killed. The people are not under duress. The people are even on the streets jubilating. So what are they really going to as in, what's the essence of this invasion? And mind you, the West now, Germany, France, they've evacuated their people. Nigerians, ECOWAS, Tinubu as chairman, you are going to invade. You've forgotten how many Nigerians we have there? During this long war with insurgents, Boko Haram and everything, do you know how many Northerners that are displaced that now reside in Niger? Have you evacuated them? Or you want to go and kill your people as well? Like, well, at the end of the day, just realize they don't think about the common man, you know. So it's just as an individual, whatever you can do to save yourself. Nigeria is not worth dying for, because imagine you are going to invade a nation that has your citizens there. You've not talked about a way to take your people out. You know, can they even do it? Because last time what happened in Sudan, were they able to remove people from there? If not for this airpeace man that supported them, last they were able to get buses at the same time that say they are not paying them. Look at our ladies went to play World Cup. NFF have not paid them. I don't know what is wrong with Nigeria. I swear down. I don't know what is wrong with Nigeria. And so someone is there shouting to Tinubu this one, Tinubu that one. Well, imperfect, man. I just take your mic, I beg. Take your mic. You know, they argue, this one, do that one.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Noel, are you there? Over to you, please.
All right. Thank you.
It's too sugar.
Noel, are you there? Go on. We can hear you. Just pick up a bit.
I'll eat you in the morning.
Okay, thank you. I will try to speak.
Hey, now, nice.
Nobody should interrupt me, please. I remember a few weeks on your space, people were saying that
I don't interrupt you. Continue.
Please, I don't know you, sir. Please don't. I do not interrupt them. Now, I remember when your space you said that ECOWAS cannot.
I don't know you too, so I don't interrupt you. Continue.
Oh shit. I remember on your space when people said that ECOWAS cannot land troops, that they will not do it. They have got the blocks of the military juntas. And I hear people who claim they're educated on this space saying that Nigeria is going to war with Niger. Where has Nigeria declared war with Niger? It is ECOWAS that ordered. ECOWAS consists of 15 nations. Four is held down by military. 11 others are saying we want to invade Niger. But it is Nigeria. It is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This military issue, which the former ECOWAS chairman, being the Ghanaian president then, went to negotiate with the Guinea contract people. They said, okay, after 3 years, return to democracy. I wonder, we come here and we always shout. Everything. We are talking about ECOWAS, we are talking about Tinubu. We are talking about ECOWAS, we are talking about Peter. Are we mad here? Are we okay in the head? We are talking about ECOWAS. I want to even ask, when there's a military coup happening all around, you want this ECOWAS, which is their work, which is probably part of people don't know this is part of, go and read part of their job. Educate yourself before you come here. Let me ask you people, is there any country that in West Africa that is doing very, very wonderful in the West African region? Let's talk to ourselves. The Sierra Leone, the Senegalese, all of them, anyone doing so wonderful, better than each other. That it is only you that your country you are crying. Yeah, Nigeria will produce the highest troops, maybe if this invasion goes through. Ghana will bring troops, Sierra Leone will bring, the Ivory Coast will bring, Togo will bring, Benin Republic will bring. But we keep on coming up on these places to sound like dimwits that it is only Nigeria's problem here. It isn't only a Nigerian problem. ECOWAS is demanding another deployment of standby force to restore constitutional order. The constitutional order that your lovely P2B is contesting in court.
Can you leave P2B and go to
No,
the
the what does P2B have to do with all this now? Like, what these people, man? Leave P2B out of it.
Can you imagine you are sounding like you are yourself? You are calling others illiterate.
Exactly. You're talking about dimwit and you're talking nonsense.
Have you removed your people? You're going to fight there. Nigerians, have you removed your people? As the ECOWAS chairman, you are here talking rubbish.
Yes, let me talk my rubbish because when you spoke at the night,
say it and go away, please. Talking nonsense.
Your darling that would have saved Nigeria in 3 months is fighting in court because he's a democratic state where he can challenge something. But the man we hate so much is going to restore democracy so that these people can also have democracy and challenge things if they want to challenge. Rather live in the worst democracy than live in the best military regime. I have seen many of you, I will not call the particular group of people.
Don't.
Romancing with military regime, putting the military juntas as your AVIs, military with Burkina Faso as your AVIs. But you are in Nigeria hoping that judiciary should restore your mandate, but other people, they can't even restore mandates in their own country. If the military wakes up one day and say, we want to do this, there's no challenge, there's no anything. If the Senate of Nigeria, now let me bust your bubbles, if the Senate of Nigeria stand back and push pressure on Tinubu that he cannot release troops, that is the beauty of democracy. That is the wonderful nature of democracy. But you are happy here. This same Nigeria, remember when Buhari bought them cars last year? You set of people, all of a sudden people now love Niger. All of you now love Niger very much, more than you now love Niger. And you keep coming up with this agenda that everybody in Niger is happy because you see a video. Can anybody speak up against the military regime in the military regime? But they're telling me I don't know anything. Can you even speak up against the military regime in a military regime?
The same democracy shut down Twitter. The same democracy shut down Twitter. David Ude is on the run today because of democracy. Your wonderful democracy.
Let me speak.
I should interrupt him. Okay, Noel. I'm sorry. Noel, if you can hear me, you have 5 minutes. Your time starts now.
5.
So you can start afresh.
5 minutes. I'm not 5 minutes. Just when they interrupt me here, I know they interrupt anybody. Always keep quiet.
Go on.
Okay. Now. The beauty of the democracy is that you can pay Tinubu You make him caricature, you do If democracy is allowing you do you call him all sorts of names. Nothing happens to you. Let the Burkina Faso man call down their president names and do all with him and see what goes on there. That is how a military regime works. There's no rule of law. What they practice there is you come, you shake Tinubu, you curse him out. He even said it, you abuse me, I'm tired, they abuse me on social media. You abuse him every day, he doesn't do anything. But what do you know? You go and abuse the military juntas in Niger and see what happens to you. But we are here romanticizing military regime because of a candidate lost an election.
I beg. Which candidate?
Let me finish.
Shut your mouth. Shut your stupid mouth. What does that have to do with it? What do you mean that we are romanticizing it? You don't have anything to get the fuck out. You don't even understand the concept of sovereignty. You don't understand what sovereignty means. So you are.
I am your boss. I think that you sound like a Rubeko.
I beg, shut your mouth. Don't mention me to be here. If you don't have anything,
I will think that you shall.
Go back to the state. You don't have anything to say. Things about adopting each other and posting.
That's the only thing you're saying. That's what you're saying about press.
These are real life things you're talking about here. Mention people. What do they do?
Do you take press so much?
Are you doing? Nobody on deep radio all over the internet. Nobody go post deep for man DM. Shame no they can't.
Yes.
You think we're talking about
I have deep. Do you have deep?
You think we're talking about deep week here?
You don't have deep.
You want to bring it inside this matter. If you don't get anything, just space and then continue.
Shut up your mouth. I think you have deep to post.
Come here. One day you deal with it. You my guy. You don't know these guys. Don't make me turn and fire you there.
Let me finish.
Noel, please, you have like just 2 minutes to round up a beg. One master, Noel, captain. I don't know the issue, I beg, but when I go settle this one outside space, I beg, I do go pegona. Agent Chukuna, you on the bacon, no them. Agent Chukuna, you on the bacon, I beg. So Noel, I beg, just a minute more. Let's go to the next one.
I beg, inside, I beg.
Oh, can you guys stop this? Noel, please, just a minute more. I want to go to see, I could say, don't even come out. People should stop this, my grandmaster.
The truth is always bigger. When you say the truth, they get triggered. I will say the truth. Nobody will. If I say the truth, I go. Now, there's no way, no matter who the head of state in Nigeria is, will that head of state succumb to will that head of state go to Russia? He will still align with the West. Your loving Toby man, did he ever go to Russia to see diasporas in Russia? Where did he go to? He went to the UK. He went to the US. Did he go to Russia to make any speech? It was in UK that he went to do a town hall meeting. But what it is, Tinubu is the devil. He's the testing. He's because of what? He's trying to protect democracy, which is allowing your person to challenge him in court. Let's not come here and be shitting us or be spitting on us and telling us it's ready. I'm shouting. Anytime you come to this echo chamber, you think you have sense. You cannot go to where they question those stupid economists.
Oh, shut up. You say once they challenge you, you go open your own space and create your own echo chamber. You don't even have the mouth to say anything here. You don't even understand what sovereignty means. You don't understand the concept of sovereignty. I come here to preach. Who are you preaching to? I beg, this is bigger than you. I beg, come on. Okay, thank you.
Can you spare some of those idiots? Everything is bigger than you.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Okay.
Come on, get out. You will come here and shout like you
shoot the khaki. Go and create your own echo chamber now. Shameless guy. If you don't know, if you don't get that things there about rest and
Imperfect, please continue now. My goodness. Nah,
please, thank you so much, guys. Look at calm down.
Oh, hello, man.
One master, you to same thing. Look, man, I beg, you're supposed to go next, but I think let's have a lady Equally, we've spoken before, so we're going to go to Royal Laurel, then come back to Lukman, then go to Kwalibu. Thank you so much. Royal, please, hope you need
Where does power go? Okay. Okay. Hello, am I being heard?
Yeah.
Okay, because sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. It's getting like a feedback. Are you driving?
I'm actually in the car though.
Okay. Let's go. Just go.
Okay, so I'll just quickly just say this. It's quite noisy, but let me just try and be quick. Right? We're in a very precarious situation right now where a war is being declared that has no benefit to Nigeria. The last young man who was ranting and exposing his ignorance on the space, he's talking about how the best democracy is better than the best democracy is better than how did he say it? All right, the worst democracy is better than the best military. That is not true. Because obviously, democracy has not helped Nigeria, it has not helped Africa, it has not helped us at all. We are still as backward as ever. So if there's going to be a hybrid or whatever kind of democracy that Africa finds themselves to occupy, to start off in their own nations, I think it should be allowed. The important thing is the countries should get better. People's quality of life should improve wherever they are. And now, for the asking the question on the space, is ECOWAS controlled by the West? Obviously, because what is the benefit? Somebody once said a few days ago that if this democracy is for the people and by the people, if Nigerians are happy with who is heading them right now, that's democracy, for crying out loud. If they're happy with the person, even if they didn't elect him and they are happy with the person, they're okay with him. That's democracy. Yeah. That's democracy. Well, what do they want to go and what do they want to restore? Restore dictatorship? Because the Bazoum guys, as we heard, was imposed on them, like Tinubu was imposed on us. And if they don't want the guy, leave them the hell alone. It's like somebody removes Tinubu, and one country now say, if you don't remove Tinubu, put Tinubu back, we'll come back for war. Come for war. Come and kill everybody now. So if these guys are saying they want this, they want that, I mean, they are okay with the way they are. What are they looking for? What is ECOWAS looking for? And saying it's not Tinubu, it's ECOWAS, it's not Tinubu. You must be daft in your head. All the other people that did military government, all the Burkina Faso and co, did then ECOWAS person go and fight? Tinubu is the one monger, he's the one. He's a blockhead. Daft human beings are insulting, and they come and do his worst. You want to put people's lives at risk. I'm already calling family to start checking out of Nigeria as soon as they can, because this is total nonsense. You can't tell how long this will go. So if this war is going to really go down, people start checking out of Nigeria, the nearest available country, if it's Ghana, Togo, start moving out. Of course, stock up and move out of the country, because you cannot imagine what's going to happen next. The one idiot is here going to come to justify the rubbish. He wants to restore what democracy for crying out. What stupid democracy is going to restore? Is it Democrats? Is Nigeria a democracy? And you know, democracy is some sort of bizarre, demonic kind of democracy that's going on in Nigeria. So don't ever come and see here that they're going to restore democracy in Niger. They're just doing their selfish things. They want the pipeline. They want the uranium. They want everything else to keep their hold on Africa for our resources. So that young man should shut his stupid mouth up and stop talking nonsense.
My sister, you have spoken well. Baby girl, you have spoken well. There is no need to respond.
Oscar, no, baby girl.
People
are angry, yo.
People are going to die. People are going to die.
Don't respond to someone sharing his penis around social media. Don't respond to someone sharing penis around.
What is it?
It's okay, please, guys. We'll calm down, beg. And please, Madam Weah, thank you so much for your submission. I beg. Let's go to Lukman. I beg. Auntie Weah, Madam Weah, I beg. Wonderful submission, nice submission, because you see anybody who supports this invasion or something, it's like they never knock on a metal for body before. They never even hold metal. They now only knock out when I don't shoot for this life. It's like so if I don't even know what in the war. If I know what in the war, in fact, even answer safe, no be if I know what in the war, I don't even shoot guns before. No be all this thing though. You not shoot better gun before. When I go no say anyway. Bearded guy, change your name. I beg. Let us go to Lukman. Then we'll go to.
Thank you very much. First things first, as I would say, it's going to be a bad thing to go to war, and I would employ every one of us to be as patient as possible and to route this information. We need to route information to our brothers and our sisters in the Nigerian military. We need to route this information to our brothers and sisters in the Ghanaian military. We need to route this information also to, anyone we have in the military and the paramilitary, because the war we're talking about, the surveillance and everything that's going to happen, it's not just going to happen with just the military itself. Certain ranks of police officers are also going to be designated, and it's going to be as rowdy as possible. Sadly, the North is going to be the one to face these consequences, but I believe if we pass on this information, it would help. I had always said something while I was still in service, before I left service, until the paramilitary and the military officers and our brothers and sisters who are part of the paramilitary and military, even outside Nigeria, decide that enough is enough. This is the kind of problems we're going to be facing. And mind you, the Nigerian military today already has an existing 2 units existing, and now with what is about to start is going to be split into 3. And I'm suspecting there's going to be a whole lot of mutiny that's going to be coming up. So I would just say it's important for us to brace ourselves up, because these people who are trying to attack, a major population of them are in at least 80 to 90% of our states in Nigeria. And, we all know how their characteristics are. They basically will attack anyone that does not speak or communicate in that language that they speak of. Because right now, news reaching me from people that I know in Nigeria, it's like they're saying Nigeria's president has decided to attack Niger. Now, they are not saying the ECOWAs, because every one of us are thinking that, they're saying, no, they are not. The information getting to them now is Nigeria's president has decided to attack them. So if you're here thinking that in their head, they're thinking it's ECOWAS, no. They're not thinking it's ECOWAS, they're thinking it's Nigeria's president. The sad news, and I want to say this before I say this, please, I want to believe the judges might be hearing this. If you guys don't restore stability, you will have yourselves to blame. If you guys do not restore stability, you have yourselves to blame. You have installed a man who has cases against himself. Sadly, his formula is being used against him. So, being a person that's worked in service for about 6 years, I can tell you that for every single person that you find this so-called guy installing in positions, he has cases against them that could even send them to life imprisonment. It's all a plot and a plan. His gunmen, like the likes of MC Oluomo, one very silent person that you guys don't know of is called Oniba of Iba, and all these people there is gunmen and all of that. So they're installing themselves in several places and taking ownerships and everything. And now America has a case against him, evidence against him that they know if they release would automatically disqualify him. France is in charge of his health situation. So it's like France is saying, hey, you know what? If you don't agree to what we need to do, basically you're going to die. So he obviously is going to pick himself over Nigeria. He has always picked himself over anybody. And that has always been the situation. So I'll employ us to try to use the resources we have to communicate informations to this whatever platforms that the French people have. And one thing I want us to understand is, you see, the name Nigeria bears hatred, sadly. And that's because our leaders have actually portrayed us bad, in a very, very bad condition. So there's a way we can calm this down, which is very easy. Thank God for social media. we can begin to reach out to all these people. There's the Nigerians are very involved in the Tijaniya movement. I don't know if you know about the Tijaniya movement. If you're a Muslim, you know the Tijaniyas. They're everywhere. They are in every French country you can think of. They're in Nigeria, they're in Ghana. Those are people who want to reach out to our brothers and sisters over there and try to communicate to them that the war coming up is not Nigeria waging war against them, but it's actually the ECOWAS, and Nigeria has nothing to do with it. Sadly, like I said, we have installed a person that what he does to people is being done to him now, which is they have evidences against him that could ruin his life. And he has no choice than to dance to this tune. He has also made up his mind to shed as much blood as possible. So whatever we say is we're saying words into deaf ears. It's really not going to do anything about it. It's head on, faced on, making his move. Another thing I need us to also do is to try to reach out to the guys in the military, because the military faction is about to break into three. Asari Dokubo has to be clamped as much as possible. He has to be clamped. He already has committed treason against the country. But sadly, like I said, the person installed in place is trying to create as much damage before he leaves, so that it can be a bit difficult for, Peter Obi when he comes in. So we need to reach out to the military and let them know that this is not a war they want to wage. And I 101% believe if the military top officers decide to turn back. Now, I'm not talking about the generals. I'm not talking about the generals, because he had forcefully retired over 200 generals and brigadier generals. There was a reason why he did that, because all those factions already had their teams on ground. So once he did that, right now the military is not really as strong as people think it is. They might be making the noise on the outside, but it's very, very slim, and they're not so strong. So this is the chance for us to penetrate to them and to get them. If they're complaining about their finances, they're complaining about their welfares, this is the time that we can be able to get to them through different social media platforms, create programs, and try to attract as many as them on our side, so that they can tone down this, whatever borders they are trying to focus on. As long as the Nigerian officers decide not to be a full-fledged member of this whole war, it's a waste of time. So this is time for us to try as much as possible to reach out to every single person like ourselves to please put down their weapons and not go to war. Because if they go to war, there's going to be an internal damage. Nigeria is like Gary mixed with sugar or Gary mixed with milk. It's going to be very hard to sieve it. A lot of their officers are in our military. Even in my clan, I have cousins, I have relatives that are Nigerians, So I'll tell you for a reality, this is not something that is funny. But like I said, Tinubu does not care. He has no interest of anyone at heart.
Please, can you more, please? Thank you.
He's determined. So please, let's try to reach out to those people. We can calm down the situation. Forget whatever ECOWAS is saying. The people that are going to stand in front of these places are like me and you, who are doing these things to earn a daily living. So please, let's try to spread this word. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I've been up and about joining this person living again. Please, was anybody saying that they were in support of the war or something, or the invasion? Sorry.
Yes, no, the other no.
Okay, yes. No, I said he was in support of the war that they should. But
okay,
perfect, please.
Not your turn. No, only ask a question. Only ask a question, please. But can I? Is Noah still here? Let me ask him his reasons, because maybe they know better than some of us here.
No, perfect. Just give me 1 second.
Reason for it.
I just wanted to say this. I mean, Grandmaster, please. I mean, I know saying a band with a band, but it's not good to shame people because of.
I thought band with Noel. Noel is known for shaming people. I don't band with Noel. I do not band with Noel. It's well. Please, I don't discuss such in my space. I cannot vex. If you want to say such, I beg Captain entered in DM, so go talk such. No, not carry such. Come here. I take God beg now. Thank you so much. And don't even say it about anybody when the person is not here. I beg. I know you like him. Thank you so much, guys. Ukwalibu, are you there?
I am. Hello.
Hold on, please. Lukman, ask your former colleagues. Ask them if they can give you update on how many officers or colleagues of yours, or former colleagues that are taking award in the last 2 months. They are living
He said what? Yeah. He had a space, I think about 5 days ago or 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was a bit divided.
Yeah.
Like that.
I can tell you, like,
some where they see it as a chance to show off, others see it as a waste of time. And like I said, it's divided into factions because right now, I can tell you the honest truth, the Nigerian military is not mentally ready for what they are pushing them to do. And a lot of people are basically dropping down, like resignations and stuff. And then another big challenge we're having now is that the people that are being deployed now, because the sad news is that you're going to find more of the Southwest and the Southeast people and the Eastern people being deployed.
Exactly.
Because the Northerners have refused to actually be deployed.
Yes, exactly. Because this week alone, I know like 2 people that already, you know what.
So the challenge here, like I said, the challenge here now is reaching out to this, I don't like to call the tribe, but let me just say, reaching out to the Igbo, Yorubas, Edos, and all these other tribes that you have military officers to talk to them, because they might be, motivated into thinking they want to show off, they want to be, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a waste of their life. Let's be very honest.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know. I think they'll be like, after this, they'll all get a promotion or whatever. But anyway, story for another day.
We actually did about today $1,000.
You see, can you imagine?
A waste of time.
Yeah.
It's not worth the money. It's not worth it.
Okwaligbo, are you there? Over to you, please.
I am, okay.
Okay, go on, please.
Okay, mine will not be very long. So I appreciate that nowadays, thanks to social media, not everybody, a lot of people are doing what they can for engagement. They are saying nonsense, they are posting nonsense, they are encouraging nonsense for engagement. Me, I don't know any normal, balanced, mentally sound person that will support war. I'm speaking on behalf of the person that was that left, Noel or whatever. But I'll say this: the problem I think with our generation is, it's a benefit, but I think it's also a problem. A lot of us have not experienced conflict, so I think that's why a lot of people feel comfortable saying some really horrible things. I can only use my own. I know for many of us here, I'm sure we have parents who survived or died during the Biafra War. My grandfather was killed during the Biafra War, and my mom, according to my mom, because my mom is from Abia State, while her mother was trying to flee with like maybe 5 or 6 or 7 children, she had to do everything she could to prevent soldiers from raping her daughters. My mom at that point was maybe 12. Her sisters were 10. They were babies. War is terrible. That's why I say that if we had more, I think the one thing with this generation is if you spend, and I know this sounds very condescending, but the amount of time people spend looking for cheap thrills, we don't spend enough time studying history. You need to know your history. And if you don't care about histories, watch documentaries about conflict. You will not be coming up here to come and be saying nonsense about supporting any type of conflict, especially as Nigerians. We all know that with the current pressures that we are suffering in Nigeria, the last thing we need right now is to be thrown into war. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, I know it's social media. Yes, I know people can do anything for engagement nowadays. But I think we need to start applying some critical thinking. Let's not lose our humanity, please. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't believe that there will be anything like war. I don't know, Noel, your network did bad. I'll try to accept your mic, but I don't know if you come out. Anyway, like I said, there won't be anything like war. And even if it won't be that bad, but I think they will still. Yeah, I just hope so. Like, if they have their issues, they should go and look for in fact, they have warship, they have submarines. They can choose either Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. When in that place, they shoot themselves. Africa shouldn't be their own kindergarten or playing ground where they'll come and start, misbehaving. No, those days are gone. Let's have new speakers, please. McDonald, are you there?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, man.
I hear you, sir. Evening to you, sir.
Okay. This issue of ECOWAS trying to, force the Niger people to return democracy. They are making a very big mistake. And Nigeria should be careful. We have about 4 states, in Nigeria that have common boundary with Niger. Tinubu himself should also, he needs to be careful. The current hardship in Nigeria now, if they invade Niger, and many of Nigerians are even holding, are even in a high rank in Nigerian military, because many of them, when you go to some state like Katsina, Jigawa, Borno State, many of them are indigenous. Many Nigerians are indigenous of Borno State, and these people are participating actively in Nigerian military. So if you want to go and kill their people, see, there will be rebel here in Nigerian military. So he should think deeply of what he's about to do. And many Nigerians, when Boko Haram strike, many Nigerians, he left Nigeria for Niger. They settled there. So you cannot, Nigeria and Niger, they are one. So whatever thing you want to do is going to cause trouble, because I know many Nigerians are in Nigeria, Nigerian military. Many of them are soldiers, Nigerian soldiers here. Many of them. So if you want to go there, kill their people, they might also form a coup here against the people of Nigerians too. So it's not a step in the right direction. People should advise him. I don't know, maybe a president who become president through fraudulent means, and he wants to please the people and the whole world, that he has all it takes, to restore democracy. Because whenever you occupy a political position by fraudulent means, all you will be doing is to pleasing people. The one that doing all manner of things so that people can, you can get people's attention. So all this thing now is going to do will bring, in fact, it will destroy Nigeria. It will destroy Nigeria. And moreover, he wasn't born with democracy anyway. Democracy was introduced to us by British officials, and they didn't even study the people to know if democracy will work for them. And a particular country want to try military system of government. It should. If I were ECOWAS, I would just allow these people. Just run it for 2 or 1 year, 2 years or 1 year. Then you will realize whether is good for you or is not. But this is forcing someone to do what they don't want to do. These people, I don't know how they reason. Nigerians are saying, the people there, this is another forms of democracy too. The people are saying, we want this. We want the military junta. We are tired of this.
Please round up, sir. Please.
Yes. Yes, we are rounding up. We are tired of democracy. We support military juntas. The people is another form of democracy. This is what the people want. So if we are the principle of democracy and the people say they want this, right? But why can't you allow what the people want to be? So this is a question you should ask himself. If Tinubu claims to be father of democracy, so that's my submission. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And please, Oli, are you male or female? Female, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you, everyone, for all your inputs. What I would like, everybody have a right to what they think is right for the situation at hand. However, this is actually, it's almost like a comic to me, but I love when Imperfect brought the attention. by the tweet he did yesterday, saying, is France even serious? What an insult. I love that. It also kind of got me emotional, like how they there. But my little input now, which might not be okay with a few people, but I still have to say it, is that in Igbo there's this saying, which Mazen that Nnamdi Kanu have said before. He said that the vulture said when the wife was pregnant, if he gives birth to that child, good on him or her. Is a benefit to the family of the vulture. If she dies while giving birth, is also a food for him as a vulture. That's what he lived for. If they like, let them go to war. It even helps because the decay is already there. Nothing can stop it except for it to go down completely and then regerminate into probably something better. Yeah, because we have suffered for a very long time, and it's so annoying when people want to deceive others by saying, oh, we need to buy more time, we need to be this and that, it's going to be better. I see people who say that as deceptive. They just want to simply buy time to get their benefits out of Africa and all the stuff. So with that, I would say if they want to do that, let them do it. They already don't have enough military powers and all the stuff. So, advising them when they can actually advise themselves is a waste of resources. Allow them to go and waste themselves there. And then they will come back empty. And everybody will sit on the table and decide how we all are going to live. Yeah, so let nobody advise them. Allow them to go there and waste themselves. Good on them, period.
Well, hello.
All right, thank you so much, Oli. Thank you so much. Ichie, you should be next. After you go to hello, Obulo, please. Ichie, over to you, please. Then go to Obulo.
Okay. My brother, imperfect. Good evening.
Evening to you, sir.
I've been listening in chat. When I wanted to talk, the person don't run the way to. But let me just proceed. See, with the issue, I don't know what responsible to take it. I think some people should limit themselves in to the space maybe where you discuss how your grandmother or your mother-in-law or your girlfriend should be treated in your house, or different sex type of practice and the one that is a taboo. I think some people should probably get to limit themselves in such kind of spaces and not to come here and insult our senses here. Because I was driving when I heard that. That was when I had to request mine. Meanwhile, and another one is so insulting that somebody could literally come here to tell us that it's because this person believes in democracy and that's why he allowed Ubi. Check that word, allow Ubi to go to court. On what basis? Like, how can someone come here and tell us that somebody allowed Ubi? As the people don't go kill Obi or kill the lawyers, so that Obi will not go to court. So for me, that's just by the way to. But you see, you see this issue. This issue with the Niger or whatever. My only pain here is just that Nigeria, or should I say West Africa, or some members of the ECOWAS, which are already divided among themselves, are opening their eyes and seeing themselves being used as a puppet. I see probably some sort of a kind of an escalated. The one might be fought tomorrow. They go there, go throw bomb, but that is not even where it ends. A lot of people, maybe it's actually the guys in the military background will be able to do, because I have somebody there They will tell you that you know actually what Niger, the war Niger is doing for us in this issue of fight against ISWAP and terrorism and the rest of them. And Nigeria will not know. And when it has to do with war now, a lot of people is going to use every options, even if it means them arming those guys and giving them a safe passage to Nigeria. They will start doing it if that's the way they can get at you and also kill you too. So I don't know if these guys actually thinks about the long term. And somebody will come here to tell us it's not ECOWAS, that it's not Nigeria, it's not Tinubu. Who is the face you usually see? All the newspaper reports will be seen. Whose face are they using? If you go to Niger Republic now and tell them that it's ECOWAS, whose face are they seeing in ECOWAS? It's just like myself and you are imperfect now. We are very close friends, we know each other very well. We belong to an organization and we are the ones superheading. We are now superheading everything that the organization said they want to do to me. At least I expect you as my friend to tell me that even if the organization wants you to do this, you could literally say that this is my own mind, this is my own opinion. Can we find a better way? But it is you want to pretend that you're inside the ECOWAS. ECOWAS is pushing you. Someone else is pushing you. You are the one superheading. Rather than probably pouring water, you are trying to put more fuel on it. And you think that they want to call the end of the day, they will call it ECOWAS. They will not
go and bring our bin, please.
I'm just saying that most of these
Take my
guys
slippers.
are talking about this democracy, they want to go and arrest them. Burkina Faso and the rest of them, all those ones went through this thing. What is so special in Niger? They really need to come and tell us exactly why they want us to go and become a pawn in a chess that both Russia, US, and other people that has their military base. People doesn't even know that US has a drone military base where they go, even all those their MQ9 Reaper that they can use to shoot down anybody is actually parked there in Niger. Why is it that even when I swap, all those guys are doing all those things, that do all the activity, they won't have to cross to come into Nigeria? You want to tell me that US military intelligence doesn't see all those people? What have they done with all those their drones there, their drone base there, with all the outbreak they all have here there? They kept quiet, the coup happened. They now want us to come and do it. Every other country, all these, including French, they all have their military bases there. They kept quiet. Would they tell us they don't know that this coup is going to happen? Like, I feel that these guys actually say premeditated something. They know exactly something is about to happen. They kept quiet, it happened. Now they want us to go and fight it, and they will stand by. Tomorrow they will supply us guns. They will supply us guns to go and kill ourselves. And I'm sure they are supplying Nigeria. They are supplying Niger. They are supplying Burkina Faso. Very soon, Algeria and Egypt, all of them will have their hands because everybody is going to fight for their district. It's all about interest. The only thing is just that their lands are not going to be used. It's not going to be Nigeria. And all those things we think we want to protect is going to be open because one, there is a war. They will just use proxy and come in and do whatever they want to do. This is exactly how they actually eat. And it looks like we are not even seeing all these things. A lot of people say he's a master strategist. He's a master strategist. Come to Nigeria now. I'm sure you people know that people already living more than hell here. Let him use that his strategy and his smartness. We need it more here in Nigeria than people are dying. Let me use it and help us. Not going to war in Nigeria. A lot of places, in fact, there are a lot of local government today in Nigeria that is under Boko Haram control. Let him use it. Let him use it and go and activate those communities. Over 20 people today were killed in Plateau State. Let him go there and do something. We don't want them to go to Niger. We need them more here. Let them deploy them here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I know you people are just busy shouting now because you guys don't want to be enlisted on the people that will be going to the northeast. I mean, northeast and northwest to go and fight this war. Lazy Nigerian youth. Ichi, or it's also way the shouts. I don't put it down. Then go.
I'm only saying that if people that have all those styles of getting weapon and ability to not do anything, now we will not even get. You know what this MQ9 really bad people they have. What did they use it to do? Let's tell us.
In fact, will you fly back to Nigeria to go and fight?
I don't have anything to lose, so I will not stand for headbridge. Now when the war don't reach headbridge, I will be like, yes, let me not defend. But those way from that, everybody defend their own region. Okay, please. Nandum. Nadum. Is it Nadum or
Nadum? Yes. Recruit 50 million youths.
what would they eat?
What they will eat? Agbado. You people thought it was a joke. See, Tinubu is a burden on Nigeria. A very, very huge burden. He was a huge burden on Lagos State. You allowed him to transfer that burden to the entire Nigeria. This is a CIA spy. He was a CIA spy for several years, and we allowed him to be president. You know, David Honde wrote an article, I think early this year or late last year, about the amount of leverage that the US will have on Tinubu, given that they have his records and those records are not clean. Look at the way he's approaching this entire issue, because when you look at it sometimes, if you just want to laugh, what is so special about Niger? There was coup in Guinea, there was coup in Burkina Faso, there was coup in Mali. ECOWAS didn't approach it in this manner. Nobody suggested the option of military intervention. So why is military intervention the first option of Abadu? It happens, things like this happen when you want to impress someone. He wants to impress his masters. So that is why you see that he is throwing everything. He wants to show them that, yes, I am still very loyal. I'm still that puppet that you have always known. So, and given that he knows that his own government has no legitimacy, so he would like. Tinubu is a huge burden, and it's a burden that Nigeria needs to do away with, regardless of sentiment. Having Tinubu as a president is even a national security threat. So, but the last line I want to see is this. I want to see whether Tinubu will be able to deploy any Nigerian soldier to Niger without the approval of the Senate. Because that the law is what it is, that you cannot deploy a member of the Nigerian armed forces outside Nigeria for combat purposes, except you get the approval of the National Assembly. Now, the exception would be where there is a national security threat. So we need to ask ourselves, how does the coup in Niger pose a national security threat to Nigeria? I've not seen it. I know that if you go through history, a coup in Niger, a coup in Mali, a coup in Burkina Faso also signals that there may be a coup in Nigeria. Or if you look at historically, a coup in Ghana and some of our other neighbors actually signaled that there was going to be a 1966 coup, and it happened. But why it happened that way was because some of those soldiers, especially the soldiers in Ghana, the Nigerian soldiers, they went to the same military college. Some of them fought alongside in the Second World War. So they were still in contact, providing inspiration for one another. That's why you notice that in the early, late 60s, once there is a coup in this country, another coup happens in the other country because they were military mates. But that is not the situation now. Our military personnel, I don't think they have as much contact with the military personnel in Niger or Burkina Faso as it were in the past. So for French, West African speaking countries, the fear may be palpable, but not for Nigeria actually. So assessing the situation, I don't see how it affects us. Secondly, there is the issue of sovereignty. What was ECOWAS formed for? ECOWAS was formed to take care of, ECOWAS is an economic society, community rather, to take care of economic need of members and not necessarily to determine the system of government of any of the member states. So what happened in Niger, or what is happening in Niger, is entirely an internal affair. Whoever that emerges as a legitimate power from Niger is the person that ECOWAS should admit as the head of state of Niger and relate with the person as a representative of Niger, especially on economic level. So you look at ECOWAS treaty, in international law, a state can actually give away some of its rights, some of its powers. So what is the extent of the right, of the power, or of the sovereignty that member states of ECOWAS, or what is the extent of the sovereignty that they give away? Does it include intervention in its internal affair, in its choice of a form of government? It doesn't include that. So ECOWAS does not even have the powers to intervene. Where ECOWAS will have the powers to intervene is where in a situation, maybe there's a war in Niger and one of the factions or the factions at war are actually committing atrocity, rape, slavery, killing of civilians, and all of those atrocities. Then ECOWAS will have the basis to intervene. So internally, there's no basis for intervention. The citizens of Niger have accepted the coup as it is on the face of it, because in law there is something that is called either positive inertia or negative inertia when a coup happens. If a coup happens and the people comes out and they are rejoicing, that's a positive action on their part that we have accepted it. Now it could be a negative action on their part that they have accepted it if they are neither rejoicing and they are neither rejecting it. So whichever way, however you want to place it, you will see that this particular coup has been accepted by Niger. So an international community can only interfere in the internal affairs of... Pardon?
You have just
So an international community like ECOWAS can only interfere where there are domestic bases for such intervention. And as we speak, there's no basis in Niger that calls for any external intervention, whether it is NATO or France or Nigeria or ECOWAS or EU. So Tinubu is a burden. That's my summary. Tinubu is a burden, and he's trying to please his paymasters. That is why he's going about it the way he's going about it. And he will not stop. He will not stop until he destroys himself and all about those. And he wants to drag all of us along. So, 50 million youths. I don't know who is willing to join the army. And if you're willing to eat corn and cassava, you may just join. But Tinubu is a mistake, and I hope we correct it soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Nandum, thank you so much. Grandmaster, let's go back to you quickly. Then go to the place.
Thank you so much, Imperfect. Imperfect, I just want to touch something, a concept that a lot of us are actually skipping here. How many of you remember when EU released a report, saying that the elections were not credible? Did you remember what the talking point was amongst these guys, APC members? EU should mind their business. Nigeria is a sovereign country. EU should not interfere in the internal affairs of Nigeria. Imperfect, I hope you remember when those things were being said, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much. Now, it seems that, for all the people who come, like the guys who are actually clamoring for this thing, you understand? They don't understand the concept of sovereignty. The concept of sovereignty baffles them. It's a mystery to them. They don't understand it. You see, the concept of sovereignty has it that anything internal, politically, change of leadership, usually is an internal affair of a nation. No nation whatsoever has the right to interfere in the internal affairs of any nation. In the Constitution of Nigeria, you understand? I think it's section section 5. Yes, it said that the nation Nigeria shall not, under any guise, engage any other country in conflict, except the caveat that there is an imminent threat to Nigeria. Please, I want to ask again, what is the imminent threat that reverse were the case, would they accept this? They will start chanting sovereignty. But whatever happened in Niger, see, Prophet, you know me, I am never for military coup. But it still does not negate the fact that what is happening in Niger is their internal problem. If I read this, just read this what do you call it, headline that is posted on this Jumbotron. The president of ECOWAS has ordered deployment of ECOWAS standby forces.
Who is the president?
President of ECOWAS. Nobody not president.
Exactly. So and I know that the Nigerians shouldn't point hands at Nigeria. You guys are joking though.
No, let them be deceiving themselves. But if I just read that caption again and tell me what you feel about that caption. The president of ECOWAS has ordered the deployment of ECOWAS standby forces to restore the constitutional order in Niger. Basically, we are witnessing imperialism from Africans now. The same thing every single country in this world condemned the US for when they went into Iraq. You understand? Under the guise of that they want to restore democracy and that Saddam Hussein has nuclear weapons. But that is exactly the same thing we are condemning the US for. And everybody you ask today is US an imperialist country. They'll tell you yes, it's an imperialist country. But you are saying that you're going to restore constitutional order using the military. If please, which normal thinking human would believe such a headline like you can restore constitutional order using military? These people come up on space and tell us that we need to do this because we need to secure Nigeria. We need to do this because we need to ensure that terrorists do not run into Nigeria. But do you know what is worse than stopping terrorists floating into Nigeria? Is to destabilize the entirety of the Western Africa and the Sahel. Because any single conflict today, I say it again, Nigeria acts as the only buffer so far when you talk about the North between Nigeria and the terrorist-infested North. That country has been doing a lot for this country. And then you want to go and invade it, and for some reason you believe you are going to secure the territorial integrity of Nigeria by invading a nation, a sovereign nation, that is actually protected for terrorism. I mean, what kind of stupidity and tomfoolery is this? So what I'm saying is this. If you are struggling with the concept of sovereignty, I think it is better you go back to secondary school where they taught us sovereignty and understand the tenets of democracy and what sovereignty means. You don't come here and tell me all sorts of nonsense that Nigeria has the right to go. Who gave you the right to invade a sovereign country? Sovereignty is their nation. They have to protect their border. And if you step your foot inside that country, it's a declaration of war. Under any guise you want to preach it. So please, let us not come here. You see, I don't want to mention names again, but I will say it again. Sometimes we should actually reason the things we say before we say it out. Because we come here and we yap and we talk all sorts of nonsense. That's why I say, if you are restricted to relationships, they say there. Some things don't wait, you could just jump in and then, give your 2 cents. Your 2 cents are only there in something. They see me go relationships where they talk rubbish. Not be saying that them fit catch room and pass me. None of them can even step up to me. But I just don't engage in such frivolousness because it don't confine me. You understand? But when it comes to politics, things that deals with that affect the life and livelihood of people, you have to be rational and guarded the way you make such noise, such statements. Imagine claiming that Nigeria should go to war. Then what is going to be the consequences of that war? Nobody is talking about the consequences of war. All we want to do is to show that we have the military might to invade another country. The prophet I dey vex, but I won't make I go down. I won't go cook pepper soup. Because if I start to listen to certain things, people dey become spit here. I go dey vex. Make I leave am for now. Make I just leave am. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
I beg. Now go to meet you won't cook.
No, I found.
All right, thank you so much. Who never speak for here? Captain is focused before. Let's go to Wazobia. I don't speak of to mic. You Nigerians, you to go to war.
Imperfect prophet, how you doing?
I did fine.
Okay. Captain spoke to my sentiments, and the angry economist, what is his name, Grandmaster, spoke to my reality. Now, I want to speak as someone who happened to be at the center of the whole dispute, and I will explain. In the year 2020, we were approached and we were told to look for financiers that will pay for the piping work from the eastern part of Nigeria to either Belgium or Netherlands. I cannot remember exactly, or Germany. But when we started, continental agreement was a serious issue, getting permits. Now, during that time, that was when the Nigerian guy rigged the election and became the president. I would put it in context what is happening in Niger and why I feel that it is not our business. Number one, is because if it was the AU declaring war on Niger, this is a different ball game. But the word ECOWAS, Nigeria and France or Europe cannot lay pipe that will pass through Niger without paying the adequate rental fee. Nigeria is renting the land that the pipe will pass through. This whole thing is a contest of gas resource control. So when that thing happened, every other country arrived on the compromise. Okay, let the pipeline pass. French had their way of manipulating the president that was at source, and that dispute has not been cleared, and that paying our country the adequate rental or royalty that is due to Niger. The word ECOWAS is economy, is business. Now, Nigeria cannot force the pipeline on Niger. That's number one. Number two, Morocco agreed because of interest. Other countries agreed, but Niger is saying our interest must be defended. Now, that's number one. Number two is that Niger did not build a dam or a power dam because of the flooding that might affect the northern borders, that might affect the northern states. And the first thing our hypocrite president did was to off their lights. Now, if Niger goes ahead to develop power plant, that's going to put millions of Nigeria at risk. That was the initial arrangement to ensure that Niger do not have a power plant. Nigeria will supply them. So what is happening in Niger is an economy war that is very simple. Let Nigeria pay Niger their due rent for the pipeline to pass through Niger to Europe, number one. Number two, Bazoum agreed, the other guy, I'm not used to his name, agreed to any kind of rent. And these people are saying, give us rent for the next 100 years with environmental impact assessment report. No country is making that available to Niger. Look at the environmental hazard, look at the impact that will have if that gas line burst or any issue comes out from there. Okay, nobody's giving that to them. Number three is that a perfect prophet. Why I think that this is not our dog. We don't have a dog in the fight. Is that the economic benefit of that gas line has nothing to do with Niger. It is for Nigeria. And Europe, if they so desire to have that pipeline just to reduce the impact of Russia being big smart dogs, they're moving their tigers into areas in Niger. Okay, so any act of moving our military or any military into Niger outside the houses of AU, that is a declaration of war against Niger. It's a declaration of war. That's on the part of military. Now, if Europe so wishes to have this gas that they are fighting over, which forget about the English or these guys, let them. If America want to reduce Russia impact on gas export to Germany and go, it is okay. But let America come to Niger and pay them the rental stuff. If they want our gas, instead of taking, if they want our mineral resources to make their bond and their airports, let them come and put the assembly plant in Niger. If they want our cocoa, they should come and put chocolate stuff in Niger. So this is an economy war that we have no fight in. Now, just to add up to what I think should be our focus. Yeah. So what I think we should focus on is the 20 people or more that died this morning in Nigeria in one of the northern states, that plateau of Benue. That is more Niger to us. If our president is so rage of going into war, let them send the 35,000 policemen, 40,000 military, DSS, civil defense to Benue, Plateau, and Kaduna State, where people are dying. We need those military there, not in Niger. Niger issue is a trade dispute taken too far. Let our military focus on this Plateau killing, Benue killing. Even Imo State, we need 70,000 military there. But we need 100 million military men there. So we should leave business for business, and we should deal with security issues. Our president has no business in Niger. This is my opinion. This is what I know. They should go and pay Niger their rent and let the gas line pass through Niger. Thank you. I hit the mic. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Halle Berry, are you there? Blackberry, are you there? No.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Okay, evening to you. I bet look when I see you, just be on standby, I beg. Let's hear from the speakers. Over to you, Halle Berry. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So, the other day, I asked this question. I made a post that Nigerian government, the ECOWAS, Tinubu and Co., they want to use military to fight military in order to reinstall democracy in Niger. That's all bullshit. Really, it's all bullshit. You cannot come and tell us that a country that has not in any way threatened us, a country that over how many thousands of their citizens are inside Nigeria, you're going to provoke them or invade them unprovoked. All for what? If Tinubu is so interested, is so eager to kill our sons, our fathers, husbands, uncles, and friends who are in the military, why don't he send them, like the last speaker just said, why don't he send them to the north to die protecting their citizens instead of protecting their own, the politicians' personal interest? Because it just makes no sense at all. And someone came here telling us that it's not Tinubu, it's not Nigeria, it's ECOWAS. He should go tell that to an average Nigerian on the street. He should go out there and tell them that ECOWAS and Nigerian president is coming into their country to kill their citizens, and it's just ECOWAS, it's not Tinubu. Who's the chairman? And again, he made statement. He said something about Buhari buying cars for Niger. Who asked Buhari to buy the car or the cars? For what reason? What was the justification of that money spent on those cars? Are we supposed to be doing them favor, or we are supposed to allow them to be able to stand on their ground and defend their country? Because sometimes one of the major problems with we especially we Nigerians is hypocrisy. Coming out to say, oh, because I did this for you, just keep quiet and don't say anything. Whatever I do to you. Even if I trample upon you, just keep quiet. That's wrong. Because every time I go on his space, he just comes out to say nonsense.
Hello?
He's not even in Nigeria. His family is Far East. The people that are going to die, are they his friends, his uncles, his cousins? The Northerners that are going to die, the children, the girls, the women that they are going to rape, are they related to him in any way?
Please, sorry, did you just call anybody's name?
No, I did not.
Actually, okay,
No, definitely I've been listening to you, I know. So it's really unfair that someone who is actually so educated or an educator or a youth will come out with the current situation of things, economic hardship going on in Nigeria. You're still clamoring for war. For what? Is it to prove that, Nigerian government, Nigerian military is strong, we can defeat Nigeria in 13 hours? Who will suffer? Most of us are probably not even home, but we are afraid for our families back home. Why? Because some old people are there playing God with our lives. After playing God with our stomach, with our development, education, health, they are not coming to play God with our lives. Like, all the damages they've done is not enough for them. It's not enough. Now they are pushing us into war. So that an average family who probably is farming out there will even be afraid to go to the farm because Nigerians are everywhere. Some people should just be very sensible when they come out to talk. For something as sensitive as this, that concerns countries, the life of innocent citizens, people should not just come out, just open their mouth and talk because they feel like talking. Every word that comes out of somebody's mouth is actually worth it. It's really absurd that I listened to someone saying that Obi has a right to defend his democracy today or to defend his mandate today, his democracy in Nigeria. If that was to be the case, what are they actually practicing in Niger? Who is benefiting from it? Everyone is suffering. Nobody can even go to school. Something as important as education is one thing that we lack in Africa. And someone comes out here to defend these criminals, these thieves that are only stealing for their generations, while the rest of just out there hustling for ourselves without hope for tomorrow. There are many people dying of hunger. So the government has money to pay the military men, has money to release into military to go to war, but they don't have money to pay these people, to pay their salary. Imperfect, I'm done, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I'm very welcome now. We shall be well. Prince, what we hear from you, then you go to Captain, please.
Thank you very much. Well, what may I have to contribute in this matter is not today far. One, America, UK have the same aim and objective in Africa by allowing illegitimate leaders to be ruling under the guise of democracy in order to twist them or mind twist them, allowing them to be ripping us off of our natural resources for their own enrichment. Then the other way around, if you discover French also colonized those people and also continue to rip them off their natural resources. So when they now realize that illegitimate democratic government is being removed by illegitimate coup in those countries, they now want to fight back. So two illegitimate people are trying to fight in the expense or at the expense of the ignorant, passive, naive citizens who either by default allow those kind of people to rule us in governments. Now, France, in return, and like China and others, probably who will now intervene in the guise of protecting Niger, at the long run, also know that there is huge uranium or whatever in Niger and other things as time progresses, they too will benefit from. So they are not coming to help because of Niger is their brother or they love Niger military coup. No, it is France has been eating for long. It is time for us to come and also eat our own the same way they have been eating. Where probably we might be a bit lighter than France. That is the end of it all. The second phase now, the illegitimate president is looking for all external and internal means to make sure it destabilizes the normal democratic procedures of making Nigeria to go through the normal processes to heal themselves and to remove him from power. So he is now looking for all means to see how he will please UK, France, and US who have same goal in destabilizing our internal democracy for their own selfish gain by looting our country dry, by default giving us illegitimate rulers who always pack themselves into that form and they always keep their mouth shut, not to outrightly talk about the bad system of democracy. So now they are trying to force him, use him, and also he has his own will because ever since he was being elected, and given the position as president illegitimately, the US and other countries, especially the US and UK, have not really shown keen interest, especially the US, to say they supported him, the likes of Joe Biden. So, opportunity for him that when he twerk for the US government and others, they will now help him or will now see how they will now recognize him as legitimate president of Nigeria. So that is the second phase. Then the third phase that I wonder what they are thinking, and I know that this is what the armies of ECOWAS we have made back. It is this of Niger that we have all various means to even kill and harm the military men that they will send to Niger to go and invade that because the citizens are part of the coup d'etat people and they want them and they are happy with them. So when military goes in that sense that they think that they'll be having shade of cover, the citizens will cover them. The citizens will be the ones giving the Niger military more details and pushing the militaries, the ECOWAS military outside, if they even have chance, killing them more. Because naturally to them, they are coming to destroy their internal peace and their internal business. So it will be so difficult for them to achieve those aims. And finally, the France, US, and UK and other bodies and whatever want to turn Niger as a desolate field, just like Ukraine it is as of now. So that is their aim and objective. And the citizens over there will suffer heavy blow. People will die at the end of the day. None of their own land, UK, France, US, other countries, such of this Western will have any effect. It is we, the Nigerians and Niger, that will go there and kill ourselves, use our army and kill ourselves, and they will now see another source to supply more arms with exchange of crude oils and etc. May God help the Federal Republic of Nigeria. These people, even Satan self, don't tire for them. I yield the mic, my brother. Hungry to catch me.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Captain Dan Lukman, please. Thank you.
Imperfect.
Yeah,
you know, say we dey go war now, so we dey see videos like Papa no dey.
If you want to kill me, make I die.
You know?
Nobody wants to die, I bet. In Nigeria, nobody could die.
Then we go dey hear things like, Aruya boys, so both I say, men on what? my brother, you see, it is always good that when we are having this type of conversation, we really need minds who really knows what is happening, right? To open the eyes of our people to know what is happening. This is total. This is the worst. In fact, this is a crime against humanity. What is being done to Africa and Africans, and what they're using Africans to do to Africa. It is a total crime against humanity. And I know sometimes when I say it, some bunch of colossal failures who have never read as wide as I have, we say, oh, every time they will be talking something and you'll be talking another thing. This is not different from what has happened in the late 19th century. This is not different. Where you have the house Negroes, you know, instead of their master will be sick, they will say, I'd rather be sick than my master is sick. Do you understand? This is exactly what is happening, and it is playing out in front of us. These leaders, the indigenous people of Africa die than their Western slave masters not to have their ways. And that is what is playing out. And that is the reason why we keep asking this question. Because one fool came here and say, is Bola Ahmed Tinubu ECOWAS? He's just the chairman of ECOWAS. But the chairman of ECOWAS is going to give the final verdict. And we know, the funny part is this. If it was an Igbo man now that was on power, you will be hearing, Igbos are warmongers. Igbos are warmongers. Now they want to go to war. You will be hearing Igbo people everywhere. Now it is our brother from the West. Nobody have heard tribal sentiments. It is our brother from the West, our Yoruba brother. There is no tribal card
Alexa,
anywhere.
Switch on living room light.
And we know the reason why he's doing what he's doing. Because he is so desperate to be recognized. He is so desperate for power. And like we keep telling some of you that is here, in case you people don't know, in the whole of Africa and in the whole of West Africa, Imo State of Nigeria harbors the largest deposit of gas. Russia is dealing with the West very, very badly. They are not sure of getting gas from Russia. And they want to continue the war. And for you to continue the war, you need uranium and you need gas to continue the war. And Russia played the same card, gave the same card to people in the Middle East, and they took the card. That is the reason why countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the rest of them, India, Pakistan, these people can look the West in the face and say, go and fuck yourself. We are no longer going to be doing what you want us to do. Now we go to the turn of Africa, and they gave our leaders the same card. And they started doing moju. That is the reason why you see the indigenous people are taking up. And in case you don't know, for the people of Niger to be rejoicing and celebrating like this, that is what true democracy means. The government of the people, for the people, by the people, and for the people. Anyhow, when I want to take up that one. In Nigeria, the people of Nigeria, both outside and inside, said we wanted to be. What we are going through in Nigeria now is a military regime. When someone is imposed on you, But what you see, what is happening in Niger is the real democracy. Now, the second reason why you see the people in ECOWAS, especially the people in Nigeria, are shaking and wagging their pennies to go to war is because they no longer hide their money in offshore accounts in the West. Because when anything happens, just like what happened to Ike Ekweremadu, when anything happens to you, they use it against you. We are all taking all the money to Niger, hoping that their guy was there. What you see that happened was that they were taken unaware. Assuming they had the information beforehand and they remove all those embezzled money from Niger.
Captain,
hearing what you're hearing now.
Captain.
Yes.
One of my friends came from Australia with his wife to swim here. So I come speak, I just stay there and briefly.
Okay. Did they hear me? Imperfect. Can anybody hear me?
Captain, we can hear you.
Okay. I didn't hear what Imperfect was saying. His line just cut off. So, like I was saying, assuming all the money that was siphoned and embezzled, all the things they were telling you, we took loan of how many billion, we took loan of how many million, they were going to hide it in Niger. They were going to hide it in Niger. So when this thing happened, it happened unaware. That is the reason why they are moving in. Trust me, if not be because of this money, nobody for moving anywhere. Biruki, when this election was going on, they brought out a passport of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that says that he's from where? A dual citizenship. Please, can somebody...
Not be dual, pattern from Guinea. Not be dual.
Thank you very much. From Guinea. So, for you to go and get that thing, it is what it is. So, men will not come here and they shout too much. And if the West make too much noise, the only way to end this war now, Niger will just destroy that pipeline. We walk through that place. And there is no other place they can go through because that channel they are using is the only available possible channel for them to go through. Every other place is as hard as rock. And if they do the same thing, Burkina Faso takes the same step, Mali takes the same step, where do you want to pass the pipe from? You cannot pass it from heaven. And when we talk about uranium, do you know that the nuclear reactor that you can use uranium to build lasts for 90 years? The battery alone lasts for 90 years. Imagine how much electricity that will generate. And France has 56. Are you aware that France exports electricity to other neighboring countries around them? But Niger is suffering.
They supply Belgium now, electricity.
Exactly. So when we are having this type of argument, you get, I like it sometimes. I like the way a grandmaster argues. But sometimes when you see all these boys who will just come to trigger you and you will just start shouting. When you are...
Okay, thank you for watching. The space has just ended, and I'm gonna be ending the broadcast now. So, what we've been talking about is what's going on in Niger that has to do with ECOWAS, with France, with Nigeria. So the latest news now is that ECOWAS is making move to invade Niger, even though they say there's still a window for peace. But as going by happenings of the last few days, one can, rightly say that that window of peace may not be one that they're going to take, because it doesn't look like the junta in Niger any interest in succumbing, to any of the requests that's been coming from foreign interests and from ECOWAS. So it looks so much like that we're going to have a war in our hand, and there's been divided opinion from so many quarters. People, it looks like most Nigerians are condemning it, but from what I've seen or what I've gauged from reactions is that most people who support the APC government seem to be supporting for an invasion in Niger, even though it looks like we do not really have any interest and no legal reason for Nigeria to invade Niger. But there's been a lot of argument as well that it's not technically Nigeria invading Niger, that Nigeria is deeply involved because of the position that our president occupies as the leader of the ECOWAS. So obviously he has to do what ECOWAS has to do. But who would understand that? Like somebody said during in the space, who would tell the common Nigerian in the street that it's not Bola Tinubu, or that it's not Nigeria that is attacking them, that it's ECOWAS? Who's gonna explain that to them, and who would understand that? We all know what happened a few days ago when they were demonstrating and burning pictures of Tinubu in their streets and then calling him Ebola and all sorts. So that's the sentiments they have there, that they are going into war in Nigeria. I personally, since all this started, I had said categorically that anything, that any move against Niger is like moving against northern Nigeria. And from my experience in this country, with things that's been happening, northerners would align more to their religion than anything else. I'm an Igbo woman. A northerner would see somebody from Niger as their brother than they would see me, as their sister, even though we all share the same country. So it's what it is. We're watching this space to see how it develops and what's going to happen from here. I really, personally, my own personal opinion, I really do hope that it doesn't degenerate to the extent of having a war or having a military invasion by ECOWAS in Niger, because I don't think it's in Nigerians' interest. Even though somebody also said in the space that the Northerners, who are supposed to be the ones championing why Nigeria should not go to war, are not saying anything. So why should Southerners bother themselves? But then, oh well, as it is now, we're all Nigerians, and we'll have to do what we have to do. We have to be our brothers' keepers. One moment. We have to be our brothers' keepers and speak out. Whether people are listening or not, we have to continue speaking. A war in Niger would not favor Nigeria, neither would it favor anyone. It's only gonna, bring more diplomatic problems for us as Nigerians. And we have a lot of Nigerians who live in Niger, just like we have a lot of Nigerians who live in Nigeria. And a lot of, just like last time, Buhari actually said it himself, Buhari identifies more with Niger than he would identify with Nigeria. We all know how much he invested, how much Nigerian money that he invested in Niger. So Niger, and look at the names Niger and Nigeria. What's the difference? So I see the situation as brothers wanting to fight brothers. So we need to be more diplomatic about it. We need to not take the turn of war. I think Bola Tinubu need to think about the situation and find an alternative way of bringing about resolution to the matter. All right, guys, I end the live stream now, and thank you for watching. I made a video earlier about reasons why Nigeria have to choose peace instead of war when it comes to Niger. So you can also watch that video, and then I'll see you again next time. Bye for now. Bye. Stop.